Welcome to all of you. Welcome to the mentors, the investors, recent graduates, aspiring founders we will probably also have in the room, and of course all interested friends and guests. And last but not least, of course, also our new graduates, which you all see on the panel here. Welcoming you is in a very special time. So that's what I spoke about last time when we had our first graduation this year. I spoke about it, that is very special and complex and difficult. I also spoke about it with a faint hope that it would all clear up quickly. But shortly after we started one of our largest batches, and at the same time fully virtual batch, like this one in September, the pandemic smiled at us and said, well, not so fast, buggers. Show us that you can create great companies with founders you've never met in person. We took the challenge, and a challenge it was. We started with a cohort of 55 founders from more than 10 countries, youngest of age 22, up to an age where some people start thinking about retirement. And everything from a grocery robot to an automatic system to digitize corporations. While this was our second virtual cohort, it being fully virtual made it a lot harder to build momentum, commitment, and personal bonds. While we are very proud of all the 8 companies and 11 founders graduating today, we really look forward to meet you all in non-virtual life as soon as we can. First, I'm gonna give you a little overview over what we have in store for you today. Oops. Oh. So, our mission as the Founder Institute is to empower communities of talented and motivated people to launch enduring and impactful technology-enabled companies worldwide. All this fully diverse with respect to gender, age, nationality, and ethnicity. And this cohort really proved it. We will start with a few more opening remarks and then go into the keynote by Frank Pavlicek. Then the ones that are longing for the presentations of the radios will, of course, be tweeted with them. We will then go into a short break and see the second part of the presentations, and then go into the graduation ceremony and have prepared a virtual bar where you can meet amongst each other and have a beer, virtual beer or a virtual non-alcoholic drink. Who are we? Why do we do this? We basically, as FI, Founder Institute, help everyone in the pre-seed stage. And we do that worldwide in more than 60 countries, more than 200 cities, and it has been done with around 4,500 companies in the meantime, since 2009. But we in Berlin, we have become quite one of the best ways to actually do it with FI. We are one of the strongest cohorts worldwide. Who are we? The team consists of the lovely people here on the slide. You see to the left, Rike, who has been starting our social media efforts and has been helping us all along in team building, social media content production, and things that are behind this, that happen behind the scenes. We have on the upper right corner, Stephanie, who is started in community building, but is now the core of all our marketing activities. And on the lower right corner, Katerina, who is our social media expert and pokes us whenever we have to change something which we did in a too classical way in the past. Then we continue with Sasha on the in the third row, third column on the top. He's basically the old daddy of FI in Berlin, as he graduated in Berlin in 2010 and led the Founder Institute since 2012 until today, and is one of the networking masterminds in Berlin with contacts all over to Silicon Valley in all kinds of areas. Then below him is, you can see Dirk, who's also with us today, who is our pitch guru, pitch coach, and makes sure that the pitches come up to par and is always amazed where they start and where the founders end with their pitching qualities. Below him, that's Javier, who is our expert when it comes to finding out what the actual problem is our founders want to solve. Often there's ideas in the beginning, but there's more of a solution searching for problems. But as we know, that's not how that works usually. And has been instrumental to most of our founders to actually solve that, and also to find out what kind of product, what kind of solution in the end could then solve the problems detected. Last but not least, there's Kai, who is our climate expert and leading our climate track, and has been founding several companies in the energy and climate sector before. And myself, I'm leading it since 2.5 years. I'm kind of the keeping the strings together and passionate about helping all kinds of ideas thrive and get to a company stage and grow. That's it for the team. Would you want to say a few words? I'm going to stop the presentation for a second so that we can have everyone show their faces for those who are here. Let me just stop in. Who wants to start? Katarina, you want to say hi? So it's not just pictures, but reality.
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm really glad to be here. Congratulations to all our founders and the journey they went through, and good luck for today.
Thank you. Sasha, you want to go?
Yeah, I'm super excited to be here. I was never introduced as the Founder Institute Daddy. That's the first time for me. I guess I'm getting old. But yeah, I'm super excited. Look forward to the pitches. This is my 10th semester, and this is the first one. Actually, we have all virtual graduation. Last time we had like a mix between virtual and like an offline graduation. This it's all virtual, so I'm super excited.
Thank you very much. Stephanie.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Super happy to be here with you tonight and having you, and good luck.
Thank you very much. Then we have Dirk.
Oh, congratulations from my side as well for making it that far. The good news is this is just the beginning. It's not the end. But at least from now on, you know that you can trust into a great network of partners who will hold you back, and you know now that you got a plan. So I'm super excited to see not only what you're going to present tonight, but also what you will come up in the next couple of months. And all the best for your graduation from my side as well.
Okay, thanks a lot. Rikke has a small child, so is probably going to be on and off during the night, and says hi to you all. And
you wanted to come.
Yeah, she's
right link. Does she? Okay.
I think she's going to jump in and out in the meeting tonight, so you will probably see her later on. And Javier also says hi to you all, and congratulations. So I'm going to move on with the presentation so that we can get closer to the pitches. So we're not only a team, but we also have great support by more than 350 mentors. So our local mentor network is really huge. It is encompassing all kinds of industries and knowledge and backgrounds. And this is the second or third batch where basically we couldn't even fulfill all the requests of mentors to support us because there's only so many sessions that we hold. So it's really great to have you all on board and rely on all the mentor support in the batches, and also the network that they bring to our founders. Apart from mentors and team, we also have a great number of partners who are supporting us in spreading the word, but also supporting us in helping us run this, which in special I would name here Hyacinth as our legal partner, who has been in the depth with many of our current founders as well, to help them define how to found the companies, and Visual Craft helping on the development side, and Unicorn providing us for the first time in I think several years for an actual office to run the program from in these special times, and all kinds of other support. What do we do for those that don't know us? I think we have a few in the audience that haven't heard so much before. First thing is we find great people. We don't really do that by interviews and pitches because we believe a strong personality can drive off quite a lot of things and can start quite a lot of things. So we do that by a test, which makes it also very neutral, our incoming recruiting process. What do we do then? It's basically a structured growth process. So 13 weeks of intense sessions, group work, and assignments that the founders have to do to define their companies and start their path and their growth. This is, of course, as said before, supported by all the great mentors. And I've chosen here a few of those 50 mentors that have actually supported us in this batch. You will probably be familiar with quite a number of those on this slide. And thanks a lot to all of them. They've been instrumental to support us. Why is this so? Why are they so connected, and how does that work? Basically, everyone who supports a founder in our batch is incentivized by a piece of the companies that are created. So that means HQ itself in California. That means us as the local leaders. That means those 50 mentors that support a certain batch, and it means the graduates themselves. So they have a little piece of all the other companies that are created in the same batch. You see, everything that is in FI is actually designed to make the founders and their businesses stronger. That's it for me already, for my little intro, so that you have a frame for why we do this and how we do this. I would like to ask Frank on stage, Frank Pavlicek, who is a trained lawyer initially, but then has co-founded Ubitricity, which is a Berlin-based company that intelligently integrates electric cars into the power grid. So basically, it's a plug at a lamppost. It's a really great technology and has been launched not in Berlin actually so much, but more in London recently. But I think he's going to tell a little bit about that in a second. Recently, he had joined HPI School of Entrepreneurship as a director, and his mantra is getting done what matters. So I'm going to stop my presentation and give the word and the mic to Frank.
Oh, thank you very much, Ferdinand. Just to make a test, initially everyone can hear and see me at the moment.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, well, these times it's always better to ask once more. Well, let me say, first of all, I'm extremely proud to have the honor to be here tonight with you. Some of you I already got to know as a mentor, as part of the program here. And I really think you all earned it to be here. It was a lot of sweat, a lot of commitment that you gave for the program here. And I thought it's probably the best, not only for you, but to the really impressive audience. Yeah, I see we have 54 viewers at the moment here in this room, to talk a little bit why it is so important to be a founder and why I think that everyone at least should be a founder in his life once. And Ferdinand, I will just share my screen to you. Hold on, and start the presentation. Here we go. I mean, the good thing about you is that you basically already took the decision to be a founder. So other than the students I'm now working with at Hasso-Plattner Institute, which is one of the leading digital engineering, so basically computer science schools in the world, actually. It's in Potsdam, close to Berlin. And we try to obviously motivate people, to really get out of their comfort zone as developers and use the incredible potential of innovation and ideas to become founders. And well, you did that already. And I think to not so much convince you, but to actually confirm that you did right, I would like to say some words tonight. So maybe the big question in the beginning, are we born already as entrepreneurs? Well, I discuss this a lot, actually, and I'm very sure we are not. I think it is somehow in the genes, whether you are very open for new ideas, whether you have the courage to do things a little bit more than others. But in the end, I think it's not. And if we look at this guy here, I'm very sure that he did not expect to become an entrepreneur. I'm not quite sure if everyone knows him. His first name is Werner, and his last name is von Siemens. He wasn't born as von Siemens, but as Werner Siemens. And he surely did not think to become an entrepreneur. He was born as one of 14 children, as son of a farmer, and not raised as an entrepreneurial type of guy. But still, at some point, he saw that there was an opportunity. And well, he started to use it, and he grew an impressive company. And clearly, he changed the world. So talking about what makes people found a company, I would like to give you, well, my personal own example. Why did I become an entrepreneur, and why do I now, after 10 years of bringing up a company, think that it is so important that everyone actually tries it at least once? Well, in my personal situation, I became an entrepreneur because of a lot of different things. It is basically a lot about life experiences. I was lucky to get a Commodore 64 when I was 9 years old, and I was again lucky that neighbors of ours moved to Silicon Valley, and I was really, well, doing a lot of software development just for fun at that point. And they invited me to come over to Silicon Valley, and I met a lot of founders and got somehow involved in this whole founder universe, infected by founder spirit. And still, after school, when I finished school, I decided to study law. Don't ask me why, but I did. At that time, probably because I'm from a quite conservative household. And well, law was interesting, and I really liked it. I did my second state exam in Germany, in the United States. I did a master's in New Zealand, and started working for international law firms. And still, what happened again, a life experience was in 2005, I met someone who was interested in much more than law as well. That was Knut, my later co-founder. And he was as curious as I am. I like to get to know new things and to progress things. And in the end, I think becoming an entrepreneur is always about having an opportunity that actually it is sometimes random. Yeah, you meet someone, you have an idea, and then you meet someone, whatever, and then you need to take a decision. And all about being an entrepreneur is about taking decisions. And the question is then, for what are you taking the decision? And I truly believe that it helps a lot if you are an entrepreneur and you try to follow your goal, your aim, if you have a so-called strong why. Yeah, why are you doing things? It's not so much how you do it; it's the reason you actually do things. What is motivating you? In my personal case, actually, that particular why was brought with my co-founder into my visualization. Yes, I knew about climate change. Yes, I knew about renewable energies, but I hadn't, and I'm quite frank here, I hadn't in 2006, I hadn't this topic in mind so strongly like Knut did. And when we talked a lot about how renewable energies could help to do something against climate change, to do something against melting ice mountains and other things, then we asked ourselves, okay, what actually can we do to do something against climate change? And we were very sure that 100% of renewable energy generation would actually be a major step towards this direction. And the big problem of 100% renewables actually is that you need storage, because you just cannot always use the electricity when it is produced. And so the idea was born to use the large batteries of electric vehicles as a distributed storage system for renewable energies. And so the core question was, how do we manage to always secure that the car that is typically parking 22 hours per day is always intelligently connected with the power grid, and we do not waste parking time as not being connected time, because at the moment the car parks, it could contribute heavily as large storage, but if it is not intelligently connected, it's just a waste of time. Yeah. So we asked ourselves, how do we ensure that such a parking Tesla, like it is here at the curbside, is always connected? And clearly, it is completely easy if you have your own parking garage to organize all that, yeah, in your private house. It starts getting complicated if we are talking a multi-family home and you share the parking garage, because then you already have billing issues, you have allocation issues on how to manage the authentication and things. But it really becomes ugly when you talk about the 60 to 70% of all cars parking overnight on street. And well, this is how it typically looks if you solve the problem. It's a little bit like a telephone booth from the early years. Yeah, you have large infrastructure, typically without business case, cluttering the roads. And it's very, very CapEx intensive and OpEx intensive, because it's always causing a lot of costs. And in 2013, we came up with an idea in Berlin. Yeah, this picture actually is from 2013 in Torstraße, because we said, well, wait a moment, in public spaces, we do have electricity already. We just have to make it accessible. And we started to think about getting the electricities in public space from light poles. And well, we got a lot of critics for that in Berlin mainly, and we are still not at a position here in Berlin where everyone is totally open. I think in Berlin we do have, 30 or 31 of these things installed today. But luckily, yeah, although they are saving 90% of space and cost, yeah, but for particular reasons, people here in the administration thought for a very long time that this is not the way to go. And then we realized after 2 years of arguing here in Berlin that we probably need to start somewhere else with the product. And went to London. And today in London, we are operating the largest network of charging points on street. Actually, we are operating even the largest network in whole UK. We just 2 weeks ago, we made it #1 over there in public charging infrastructure. And an enormous amount of people is now switching to electric vehicles that always are connected overnight, just because someone is willing to pay for such a charging point, because it's only 10% of the cost that such a big charging point you saw before actually would cost. So now back to you. Why is it so important, I think, that also you made the decision to become entrepreneurs? And what I tell you now is something you will mainly know already, but I know we have a lot of guests, and I want to clearly say that you did the right thing, because I know from my own family situation, from friends, a lot of people do not always understand why you become an entrepreneur. They may have a different risk profile, do not understand the logic behind that. And so maybe, this guy here, Yoda, viel zu lernen du noch hast, a lot to learn you still have. I really think the greatest thing about becoming an entrepreneur is that you actually learn a lot. It's amazing what kind of learning curve, personal learning curve you have. And I'm deeply convinced that you just can't lose anything. It's a win-win situation. Even if your company is not getting successful, you're learning an awful lot about yourself. And it's great that you actually took the courage to join this program here, because you got even guidance in a steep learning curve. And when I look back about what made it great to be an entrepreneur at University, then one thing surely is that you learn how great it feels, but when for the first time you realize that you can make things happen, that you can move things forward. It's an extremely rewarding feeling that you see, even if it is a tiny bit at the moment and in the beginning, that you can move things, and that it is about you, your will, and the tools you have to move things forward. I think, at least for me as a lawyer, it was extremely helpful to better understand how enterprises work. About learning about the whole economic background of how a company is organized, what finance, funding means, and how the world basically is ticking. I mean, we are living in a world that is coined by companies, and well, actually running one is the best way to understand and learn how that is all connected with each other. You learn a lot about our world. In particular, if you're not only working nationally, but start working internationally in our society, you learn a lot of highly interesting good things, and you learn a lot of what our society lacks. In Germany, for example, the way how we treat innovation, how we deal with innovation and say, wow, that's new, that's interesting, but Siemens isn't doing it that way. So it can't be great. If Siemens is not doing it, if Bosch is not doing it, if it's not already stamped by the government as something we do, then innovation is really a way that is hard to get into the world. So you learn about different perceptions, about things people are moving. You learn a lot of interaction with other people, convincing people, listening to their needs, and the learning curve is steep. Well, this is not the University team, but for me, the greatest experience I had over 10 years was building and working together with a team. This is something that will always stick, and it will always be something calling me extremely. It is so rewarding if you have people sharing your vision and working with you towards the vision. And it's becoming a family more and more. And well, I stopped working operationally. I'm still a shareholder operationally like 1.5 years ago at university, and still this is so much of a memory that I won't miss in my life. Yeah, so winning with a team and losing with the team is really something I clearly wish every one of you, because it is the strongest I actually experienced with being an entrepreneur. Well, failure, one of my dearest topics, one could say. Yes, you will experience a lot of failure. You will find out a lot of things not working. Yeah. Not working means at some point you learn what works. And learning from what is not working is probably, again, one of the most important experiences you can have as founders. And if you experience failure as something that is part of your journey, yeah, then you grow extremely with failure. And I like that quote from Albert Einstein: a person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Yeah, because otherwise you won't learn. Yeah, you need to try. You will fail. Question is, what do you do with the experience of failure? Try to fail as fast as possible, and learn from it, and then it will be really rewarding. In the end, you will end up wealthy. I promise. You will end up wealthy. For sure in experience. This is what I can promise, at least. And sometimes even in money. Yeah, but it's quite interesting. All of the entrepreneurs I know that have been really successful in the end say, yeah, it was great if it works out money-wise as well, but it is not the driver to then again found a company. I mean, if it really works out well, then you do not have to maybe even found a second company. It's about the way how you can move things, how you feel about bringing things forward, and well, learning about what yourself can do, about your personal strengths and weaknesses, and how to use them is really valuable. At this point, maybe just one remark. Building a great team means knowing about what you can do personally, what you maybe can even learn, where you can grow, and where it really makes sense to get a complementing team member doing things you can't do. Yeah, I think it's extremely helpful to mix up different characters, to have female and male founders working together, and complementing a team is something that is really important. Well, yeah, I had to put Elon in that presentation because I think, not because he's rich now, but because it is interesting that if you have such a strong why, yeah, and you really want to do things, and you're not afraid anymore of thinking big and really move things forward, then it's amazing what you can do against all odds, against everything what people tell you. Be it Tesla, be it SpaceX, landing spaceships again on Earth, it was considered impossible for decades. And he said, no, it's possible, we'll do it. And now he revolutionizes the whole way we think about using spaceships. And I mean, this will dramatically change our world. And well, my personal why was clearly very much connected to climate change. And I can only encourage you to choose a why for your personal company that is a why bringing us all forward. Society, our planet conserves what we have. We do all have an obligation to, well, conserve somehow what our nature, what our world gives us. And I can assure you, working on such a topic is always a little bit more rewarding, and it makes it much easier to recruit right people and to grow, because people actually feel that they are working on the right why. And who knows, in the end, and now I'm coming to the end of the presentation and the speech here. I know there are other things tonight. In the end, yeah, you may even find your personal fulfilling and think, well, I'll try it out and I'll stay as an entrepreneur. It's just what I am, what makes me feel right, and what allows us to well, live every day in a way that you cannot imagine any longer not to be an entrepreneur. It's interesting. So I'm done. I can only say, well, basically, congratulations for choosing that track, for investing all the work and the sweat. And it's really great that you decided to be entrepreneurs. I wish you all the luck that you will require, and the right people to meet and the right decisions to take. And well, yeah, move things forward and keep going. Thank you again for having me here. And well, I wish you all the best.
Thanks a lot, Frank, for that inspiring keynote. And I think all those messages will resound quite well in all those ears. All the pain that you lived through, and also all the successes and the insights. So yeah, take it to your hearts and grow and learn from this. I have actually learned a mistake myself from my starting before. I jumped Kai in announcing him, so he wasn't able to introduce himself. He's here now as well, and Rike has joined as well in the panel. So I'll just give them the chance to say hi.
All right, great, thank you. Just a few words, and hi to you all. It's good that you skipped me early on, Ferdinand, because it's just much better now to say hello after Frank was speaking, because that's exactly what he described happens all the time, happens each day, and also happened in Founder Institute. That I joined as a mentor a few years ago, and I found this program so convincing and so much more down to earth and more credibility than other accelerators. And I just asked, okay, could we do something about climate change? And then, but basically your answer was, okay, join us and do it, right? And now we have impact founders, and we find out that it's not something different, that it's always about impact and purpose. And I'm super happy that we're part of those that can steer towards a more purposeful economy and society.
Thank you very much, Kai, for introducing yourself. Rike and Arthur, hi to you both.
Hey, yeah, we have some noisy background here. All right, good to see you again, all founders, and congratulations for making it this far. That's really excellent work. It has been our pleasure to follow you on this path from changing, going from idea to having an actual business. This is really, really well done. It was not easy, I know, but you did it, and now you're just ready to rock on and get going. And I'm looking forward to see where you're gonna take your businesses. Please stay in touch, and we're happy to help you moving forward.
Oh, thank you very much, Rike. And with that, we have actually succeeded to finish the introduction. So with the keynote and the opening remarks, and you are ready to hear some pitches, I hope. And for introducing the pitches, I would love to hand over to the mic to Sasha and to the founders, of course. Good luck to all of you for the pitches. And Sasha, the mic is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Ferdinand. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to the pitches. I know the founder had put a lot of work into this, And but this is the fun part, right? This is really to value all the work you've done, and you should really enjoy the pitches right now, right? All right, so without further ado, we would start basically with Christina and Patricia from Acoting. So if you can share your screen.
Yeah, thank you,
That would be
Sasha,
great.
and thank you, Ferdinand. And thank you very much, Frank, for the inspiring talk. And indeed, I dare to become an entrepreneur because I want to fix a problem. One of our biggest global problems, actually, which is invisible, hidden underneath the surface. No, it's not presenting. The commercial shipping industry struggles with algae and barnacle growth. This leads to up to 40% higher fuel consumption and an estimated damage of $150 billion annually. Therefore, more than 80,000 tons of anti-foulings are applied every year, which leaks toxins and microplastic into the ocean. And none of these coatings can actually fully prevent fouling. So a cargo ship is inspected every 2.5 years, and the latest after 5 years, it is in dry dock for class approval, the TÜV for ships. High quality self-polishing coatings are renewed the latest after 5 years, cheaper ones earlier. And usually a coating is applied in 5 layers. So for shipping companies who need an anti-fouling solution, our product e-coating is a toxin-free coating. Unlike self-polishing coatings, our product is chemically and mechanically stable. E-coating is a combination of a nanostructured patented particle and a polymer matrix, a so-called polyramic. And we will have an exclusive agreement to use this particle. So combining the advantages of ceramics and polymers, our magic is a uniquely smooth surface, which is easy to clean. And additionally, it is at least 2 years more durable than conventional coatings. So our oldest test areas on the cargo ships are 7.5 years old and still looking good. So we are optimistic to save 1 coating cycle. Also, we only need 3 layers of coating instead of 5. And due to the smooth surface, we have less friction. Overall, a coating potentially saves the shipping company 60,000 euros per vessel per year. So we sell our coating for the material price in the first year and with an annual fee over the lifetime. With this, we want to lower the entry barrier and maximize the revenue for 1 coating. E-coating works on almost any surface. It is suitable for swimming pools, fuel, and even food tanks. We already coated a car pond and windmills. But our target market is the marine coating market, which includes boats, ships, and offshore constructions. The global marine coating market is a size of $11 billion US, and it's forecasted to grow by 7%. So our target market is the commercial shipping industry. They have the biggest need for a durable solution, and we all need healthy oceans to survive. There are more than 90,000 vessels globally, and out of these, 60,000 are cargo vessels. Starting with Germany, there are 2,140 cargo vessels belonging to 315 shipping companies. We have our advisor and potential partner HazyTech, who developed an ultrasound technique, which is used additionally to coating, and they already have contacted most of the German shipping companies. They are willing to introduce us to their customers who are open to innovation. So the coating already won 2 awards, in total rewarded with 85,000 euros. And there are 3 private boat owners happily using e-coating. Furthermore, we have test areas on 3 cargo vessels from Reederei Rotbahn. We are 1 step further in negotiating with them our first big pilot project, coating a whole cargo vessel, 6,500 square meters, 2,000 liters of coating. So what is next? At the moment, we are in the midst of incorporation and IP transfer. And then in March, we want to inspect our test areas on the African River. And in May 21, we want to realize the big pilot coating the African Wind. And if you think that these are weird names for cargo vessels, I agree. So then we want to coat a 2nd vessel in November and be ready for go-to-market in 2023 when shipping companies have to pay for CO2 certificates. The time is now. And who are we? That is me, Christina, an international experienced engineer, a cradle-to-cradle enthusiast, and a passionate diver. And Patricia, who developed the coating for the past 6 years, and a water lover. And our vision is a clean ocean. And to make our vision come true, we are looking for strong co-founders who are whose expertise is in marketing and sales or finance. And of course, any contact into the shipping industry is highly appreciated. This is our product, e-coating, the best for the boat and the environment. And we are Clean Ocean Coatings.
Thank you, Christina. Woo! Great presentation. All right, so now we go to the next presenter, which is basically Petros from Tenant. So Petros, if you could do like a screen sharing, that would be awesome.
All right, can everyone see my screen and can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, both perfect.
Lovely, thank you. Today I will present to you how we aim to make the rental experience seamless for landlords and real estate professionals. This is Alexandra. She's a full-time landlord whose income derives from owning multiple properties and leasing them out through short-term and long-term leases. Last year, she lost about 25% of the rental income because she chose a non-credible tenant. How did that happen? The root of the problem lies in the inefficiencies of the tenancy process. These inefficiencies include things like the inexistence of a credibility scoring system, the slow adoption of digital lease agreements, and the use of outdated tools to keep track of important dates and rental payments. Our solution aims to resolve these inefficiencies in 3 simple steps. Step number 1, a credibility score will be generated on the tenant based on the information that he or she provides. Step number 2, a digital lease agreement will be created based on the terms and clauses the 2 parties choose. And step number 3, live notifications will be sent to the landlord regarding important dates and rental payments. I would like to present a preview of our product. Firstly, the landlord creates an account and adds all of his or her properties on the platform. Then, the platform requests a list of information from the tenant that will be used to generate a credibility report. Then once the landlord approves the tenant, he or she selects specific clauses that will be consolidated into a digital lease agreement. Then once both parties review and approve the agreement, they will be requested to sign electronically. Finally, the landlord will have access to a dashboard to keep track all of the tenancies. Our business model is broken down into 2 revenue streams. The credibility check will be paid by the tenant as a one-off fixed fee, whilst the digital leases, the live notifications, and any other platform features will be paid by the landlord through a monthly or an annual subscription fee. In the first phase, we want to deploy our solution in Cyprus and Greece through our strong network of more than 20 landlords, 6 real estate agencies, and more than 60 real estate professionals. Then in the second phase, we want to expand in Central and Eastern European countries through aggressive marketing and by establishing strong partnerships with local agencies and property management companies. And then in the third phase, once we have gained traction, experience, and we have established partnerships, we aim to penetrate more mature markets like Germany and the UK. In Cyprus and Greece, our solution does not exist at the moment. Stakeholders still use face-to-face interviews to screen tenants, and they still use hard copy lease agreements to complete the tenancy process. We, on the other hand, we want to digitalize the entire process, firstly, by generating a credibility score using data provided by the tenants, and secondly, by creating and signing digital leases, which will accelerate the tenancy process. Our plan for the next 12 months is, by March of 2021, we want to launch our first working MVP. By July of the same year, we want to have at least 500 tenancies on our platform. And by October of the same year, we want to launch in Greece. During the past 3 months, we have gained more than 40 leads, 25 of which we have already contacted, and most of which expressed interest to use the platform or expressed willingness to act as a source of referral. Our team comprises of 3 parties. I am the founder with more than 6 years experience in the European real estate industry, during which I have been actively involved in creating digital solutions for our clients. Cristiano Aristido LLC is our legal advisor with more than 20 years experience in the legal field and with a strong track record in advising international startups. And Stephanie Clodo is our marketing advisor with more than 15 years experience in the marketing field and with a strong track record in completing projects and advising international brands. At the moment, we are looking for a tech-oriented co-founder and advisors who are serial entrepreneurs or are prop tech experts. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you, Pedro. Well done. All right, so we come to Mortas from Airbox. So Mortas, if you can share your screen.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you see the screen?
Yeah, we can see the screen and we can hear you perfect.
Yeah, okay. By 2050, Germany wants to reach net zero, which means 0% carbon dioxide in the air by then. That means that many sectors like the industrial sector and transport sector has to shift completely to renewable energy. And with the current solutions only, this is almost out of reach. Renewable energy is dependent on the weather conditions. Almost more than 50%, just a minute please. Almost more than 50% of the year, wind and solar will not generate electricity due to the weather conditions, unless coupled with batteries, which increases the total cost of the system. And speaking about cost, 1 megawatt of electricity from the wind still costs around €1 million to construct. Of course, solar is cheaper, but coupled with batteries can cost the whole system a lot more. For a 2 megawatt solar farm, a space of 1 football pitch is required to construct such farm. For solar farms, a space of 3 football pitches is required to generate the same output. The solution is to build a product that generates electricity from the wind that is reliable and constant and does not depend on the wind speed. The aim is to make this product cheaper and smaller per megawatt. My name is Mortas Khalil and the idea I'm about to present is Airbox. The solution basically utilizes the air. Air is just like the ocean and the sun. It has an enormous amount of energy present in it. The aim is to utilize this energy and transform it into a form of energy that a wind turbine can use to generate electricity. How do we do that? We place a fan at the inlet of a large container. For this purpose, I'm just going to call it a box. The fan allows a specific amount of air to flow into the box by creating a pressure difference. Once the air is inside the box, its pressure decreases and its velocity increases. And as it moves through the special interior of the box, its pressure further decreases and its velocity increases. And when the air meets the wind turbine can absorb a portion of the kinetic energy present in the air to generate electricity that can power an external source and also keep the cycle in operation. The main idea about the power from the wind is the stability and the velocity of the wind. Keeping the velocity of the wind steady increases the capacity factor drastically. Doubling the wind velocity increases the power generated by a factor of 8, and tripling it increases it by a factor of 27, and quadrupling it, I think you see where this is going. Our unique selling point is controlling the wind velocity. Once you can control the wind velocity, you can predict the output, you can rely on it, and you can change it according to your needs and demand. Our competition can be categorized into 3 categories. The first one is the new wind energy technologies. The second is the existing wind energy solutions that you can see all the time. And the third is the hydropower and geothermal power, which can be reliable, but still requires an expensive infrastructure to operate. Our business model is very simple. It's direct sales business model where we sell our product directly to our customers. And the 4-for-1 initiative aims to donate 1 airbox for every 4 airboxes purchased to a place that has no access to electricity anywhere around the world. The market of wind energy is expected to increase to 108 gigawatt by the year 2030. Our aim is to acquire 3% of this market, which can generate 7.2 billion euro in revenue in the next 10 years. We are currently in the prototyping stage, and we're aiming to develop a 3D model to further develop our product and build a physical functional prototype. Once we build a physical functional prototype, we can co-create an MVP with a pilot customer and test our readiness to scale and launch. Currently, I'm working together with Andreas. We share the same background and we share the same vision about the product. We're currently in the process of receiving the first round of funding, which can help us achieve our milestones that we have set for ourselves. We need an industrial designer or a digital marketeer so that we can achieve our next milestones. We are looking forward to making this idea come to life, and we're very eager and motivated to be part of a solution that combats the climate crisis. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matthias. Great magical presentation. I loved it. All right, so now we do like Francois, and after Francois, we will do a short break, like a 10-minute break. All right, so give the stage to Francois with Aginomatrix.
So do you hear me and see the presentation?
Yeah, both works.
Okay. So beware, because we have a revolution fermenting in the sensory field of the food industry. That's why we founded Aginomatrix now. We help food scientists solve issues relating to food, smell, and taste measurement using our AI B2B open source software. Today, a series of problems plague the food sensory industry. Let's get a feel of it. Meet Abigail. She's a food scientist. Abigail has rock in her shoes. Indeed, her usual methods cannot capture the sensory complexity, and the sampling procedures she uses are complex and expensive, and her survey results are also complex, non-portable, and amnesic. But we have the solution, a standard portable file supported by a digital model with archiving using AI to solve all of these limitations. Here you can see human judges, e-noses, and e-mouth. They are used to input data into our software. Then through the interface, data goes through the database and is assembled into a general model, producing a standard sensory file. This file can be compared to an MP3. It can easily be sent, fetched from the archives, and stored securely. And our solution comes into 4 different business models to produce and use these files. Let's now look at the use cases. More than 80% of the clients we talked to about those were convinced and want to work with Aginomatrix. Firstly, software licensing. We collaborate with Matern, a jam producer, a project to be studied within a regional cluster for 10,000 euro a year for the POC and MVP, and 50,000 a year for 3 years for the final version, licensing this. Secondly, a quality program with VS Chocolate, a prime maker, because we have data and AI, they can compare it to our standard file. So we can produce them a quality label. It costs 8,000 euro per 6 weeks and a fee on the turnover. Thirdly, an e-marketplace. We deploy an online marketplace for taste and sense. Our partner is Herve, a cheese producer, and we're working on a POC. We charge transactions 7%. This project is also studied in the framework of a regional cluster. We also have a secure database to protect the sensory files. There, we store recipes and formulas. Regular bank charges apply. Lastly, we work with Certec, a private research center. We provide food companies solutions. Our objective to frame the research to make it directly commercially exploitable. We charge 500,000 euro per concept and pay back 20% licensing to the research center. Let me explain you how it works. So here we have a research concept. We can transport the taste and smell of a Pringle chips from Berlin to Tokyo in a mere second to simplify the product development phase. And the taste of the German chips is also translated in order for the Japanese consumer to love it. This bypasses lab operations. How easy if you want to expand your market to other countries. Clients with turnover from 40 million US dollars are the companies able to use our products. It's our TAM. But there's more, because some clients may pull up to buy a license together. It's our customer base for the licensing, quality label, and database, where the market is 1.7 trillion US dollars in size and growing by 5% a year. On top, we also address 4 other parallel markets: the sensory labs, the flavor and fragrance majors, the sensor makers, and the wholesalers. We started discussions with all of those. Everything starts in licensing with a pilot experiment. A first partner buys off proof of concept. We tested there within 4 months, and it cost 50,000 euro. Then we address 10 clients. The POC becomes an MVP, and from there, 50 clients. Today, we're in discussions with 15 industry partners and secure 2 letters of intent already. Our team of experienced engineers and inventors with field experience are cooperating with universities and research centers to produce a standard, and our competitors are mainly our potential partners. We're looking for a company for POC incubation and a sales engineer with experience in AI and the food industry. It makes our customers happy to understand what we do. As you understood, a new sensory standard is a huge change in the industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Francois.
Thank you very much.
All right, so now we're gonna do like a 10-minute break, and then we are back at like 8:15 basically. See you in 10 minutes.
See you in 10 minutes. I'm gonna put up a timer.
All right. So now we're going to the second half. We have like 4 remaining pitches, and yeah, we're gonna start with Jan and Christoph from Parcel IP. So give them a warm round of applause.
Can you see my screen and hear me properly?
Yeah, both works perfect.
Excellent. Our lifestyle is not sustainable, neither in economical nor ecological terms. Up until today, sending goods from A to B is more expensive and less energy efficient than needed. In fact, road traffic is one of the major producers of carbon. In Germany, there were more than 380,000 new trucks driving around last year alone, adding to the 500 billion kilometers traveled per year. On the other side, we order more and more on the internet. In 2019, a total of 60 billion euros revenue was generated in Germany. E-commerce companies are growing fast. Too fast, actually, for the parcel delivery industry. They've reached a limit of growth due to a lack of additional workforce and other resources. Existing services increase their prices every year. For many products and e-commerce business models, delivery costs are a huge and even growing problem. I'm Jan Casalet, founder of Parcel P, and we developed a service that can address those issues. Parcel P is utilizing existing freight capacities, enabling us to offer delivery from as little as 49 cents for a small parcel, beating all our competitors. And we work 100% carbon and traffic neutral. How? Let me explain by taking you on a very quick customer journey. First, all the end user has to do is to add a product, for example, some paper, into the shopping basket of an online office supply. Second, that user chooses the Parcel P delivery option in our client's shop system and my last mile delivery service too. 3, the parcel will then A, either be delivered to a location close to the end user and can be picked up, or B, be delivered by last mile delivery service to the door. For our clients, it's super easy to use Parcel P. Once ordered by the end user, the e-commerce company will step 1 isolate the parcel on a separate pallet, and step 2 store them for later pickup. The Parcel P software will then ask the cheapest freight company for the transportation. Step 3, the pallet will be picked up and brought to the depot. Our secret sauce is the fact that all the relations between our customers and the end user's region are served anyway by existing and already driving trucks that are not fully loaded. Many companies offer the remaining empty spaces via real-time marketplaces. This is where Parcel P comes into play. Parcel P can find availabilities in real time, get quotas in real time, and place the order for the transportation of our pallets in real time. There are quite a few platforms such as Pamira, Instafreight, or Transio. All of them combined offer capacities literally any time of the day between large cities all over Europe. We're focusing on a B2B and brackets to C business model for now and on small to medium-sized e-commerce companies. We believe we can help them the most, their pain is the biggest. Our service is highly profitable. When not taking any operational costs into account, we reach break even already when only asking for 49 cents per parcel at utilization of 20%. When asking for €1.49, for example, and 100% utilization, there's a mere €1.40 profit. That's more than 90% margin. But even in a more realistic model, with 100,000 euros operational costs, we can still expect a highly attractive margin of more than 80%. The European parcel delivery market is 58 billion euros in size. That's a huge and a growing market. We want to be on the road with the first pilot of the beginning of next year, live a little later, and growing steadily after. Due to our highly scalable idea, we expect this growth to be exponential. Once on the market, we can easily adapt our product to almost any region in the world, and we believe now it is time for Parcel P. As mentioned, there are limits to market growth, and there's a growing awareness for sustainable development in the general public. But that's not all. We developed more ideas that we can provision in the near and far future, making Parcel P even more profitable. For example, some clients already expressed interest in us handling all of their parcels and shipping those suitable through our own delivery network. And we could use apps for trucks to get notified as soon as someone is on the way wants to ship a pallet. Our competitors are great at what they do in their own field, but Parcel P combines the advantages of an efficient delivery network, long-haul transportation, and last-mile delivery in a unique way. Since we joined the Founder Institute program, we made some exciting progress. We are on track with our milestones and expect market readiness soon. The feedback of our potential clients was extremely motivating and positive. We are Anna Klaschnik, Master of Science, Christoph Hütten, Financial Expert, and me, Jan Casalet, serial founder and founder of Puzzle P. We need 400,000 euros for now and the upcoming 18 months to develop our business and gain traction and to generate the first €1 million revenue. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Well done. All right, now we're coming to Sherry and Susie from DMC. Give them a warm round of applause.
Do you still remember the feeling during your first year of your first job? Have you ever feel of lost, fear of failure, and cannot meet up the expectation from your supervisor? We noticed there are quite some junior digital marketers have similar feeling when they just started their career. Like Angela, she wants to excel at work, but it requires a supportive network, practical advice, and soft skill development opportunity. We noticed that on the current digital marketing education space, there are quite some high quality education courses online and some annual marketing conferences with networking opportunity. But there's no safe environment for junior marketers to try and grow. There's a space for experienced marketers, but it's really hard to get in and it's not for junior marketers. Therefore, Susie and I started the Digital Marketing Connect discussion group. Here you can see there are different topics you can choose and join. After you join the discussion group, you will have a supportive and safe environment to discuss the challenges that you encounter, an opportunity to network with experienced professionals to get advice. Also, it's a space for you to practice your soft skill and make mistakes. In the group, you can either to be the speaker or to be the learner. Like Angela, she is really good at content writing, so she can be the speaker of the content marketing, but she wants to learn more about the B2B marketing, so she decided to join the B2B marketing discussion group. What she joined is a 3 months long program with 6 different sessions. Every session, there's about 20 to 25 members. For the first 2 sessions, the member will gather together, discuss the problem they encounter and the things they learned. The third session, we will invite a topic master to join and share their knowledge and the best practice. Here you can see our program structure have different roles they can choose every week. And every week you can have the roles you can rotate, and different roles have different skill you can learn. It's a framework that we borrow from Toastmaster. We're happy that we already have quite some traction. We have a free digital marketing community with more than 3,000 users. We've launched a 3 months pilot program with 200 graduates, and they have pretty good feedback. After the survey, we have 55% of people are willing to pay, and we already secured 5 paid customers. We noticed that we're different from others because we have a peer-to-peer learning structure. Unlike other in-learning platforms, we have pretty high engagement rate and interaction rate. We think that's a key element that 80% of the people will stick to the end of the program with low dropout rate. Our revenue model is a combination of subscription and pay-as-you-go. The yearly fee is 30 euros and each session fee is 10 euros. We will allocate 20% of the revenue goes to the speaker fund. And in the speaker fund, we will pay the speaker fee with the starting price of 100 euros per hour. If they are more experienced, we for sure will increase the rate. Currently, we have quite some guest speakers from the top tier company, and they share their experience and advice to our members. The current total market of the digital marketing market is about 55 million people with a projection revenue of 16 billion. We want to start it with Taiwanese marketers who work internationally and gradually expand to Europe and United States market within 5 years. We want to launch our first paid product in the January 2021 and hit our 1 million revenue goal in 1.5 years. Susie and I have quite some experience in digital marketing. She is more experienced about the corporate training, and I'm more experienced about interactive education program development. Currently, we need like quite some advice about the product development and financial model. Also, after our financial analysis, we'll hit our breakpoint in the end of the first year with 250 revenue investment. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. All right, so now we go to the next pitch, which is Eduardo. So Eduardo, if you could share your screen with clean space.
Okay. All right, can you? Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah, obviously give
Forgot to.
Eduardo as well a warm round of applause. Sorry.
We see you, and now
Can
we
you
see
see
your
my screen? I guess so, right?
Yeah, we can see your screen and we can hear you perfect.
All right. So the Brazilian private healthcare system is plagued with inefficiencies. Job placement is mostly based on personal network, so young professionals struggle to find clinics to work because it's hard to find the right connections at the right time. And on the other side, clinics are underutilized, but they are afraid of renting their spaces to someone unprofessional who could harm their reputation. In addition, these professionals are highly concentrated in large cities. In some states in Brazil, the capital have doctor per population ratio more than 10 times higher than smaller cities in the countryside. And many of those professionals would like to assist the population in the countryside also, but there are currently no practical ways of finding and renting clinics in those places. CleanSpace is an online platform where clinics can advertise their vacant time slots and professionals can easily find a clinic for their specialty in several locations and book time slots that fit in their schedules. And the system will automatically take care of contract and payment. All the information relevant for decision-making are readily available on the platform, so there's no need for several exchanges of emails and phone calls between clinics and professionals. And to build trust, both clinics and professionals are required to upload all the necessary credentials, and the platform will register a rating on the professionals based on punctuality, customer service, and care for the clinic's equipment and infrastructure. Monetization will be done through a fee of 9% over each booking, which is a great deal for the professional because the total cost per hour of booking plus our fee is as just small fraction of what they would earn. And the market in Brazil consists of more than 1.5 million healthcare professionals responsible for 380 million appointments for private ambulatory care per year. Our business could also go to other countries in Latin America and has the potential to go global since inequality in the distribution of healthcare services is a problem reported in almost every country. Assuming an average booking price of $12 per hour and that each customer uses our system for 1 workday per week, if we achieve our marketing and sales strategies and get around 7.5 thousand users for over the next years, which corresponds to 5% of the Brazilian market, with our business model, we would get a revenue of $30 million per year. And we're confident this is achievable because our idea is easily scalable. To validate our customer problem, we called 25 clinics and 20 of them had vacant time slots and were willing to try our idea. We also did a survey with healthcare professionals and 43 out of 54 were willing to try our idea. And for the platform pre-launch, we have 20 clinics and more than 100 professionals already signed up. Our customer problem is currently being addressed by traditional means, but in the last couple of years, a few clinic subleasing websites were launched in the market. But those websites are not flexible and they don't offer a rating system as we do. And in addition, we ask for a lower fee compared to them. We decided to target initially young physicians, considering that their number of individuals, their purchasing powers, and their interest in the solution. And we We will reach them initially through direct calls, advertisement in specialized journals, and organically through social media and our blog. Our MVP was recently finished, and we have already 2 clinics registered in the system. Next, we will iterate based on the platform based on customer feedback. And in 6 months, we intend to have a polished product, and we'll start afterwards focusing on growth. We expect the drop in appointments due to coronavirus to be compensated in the second half of next year, which is when we plan to start an accelerated growth. Our team is composed by Tomás, a pharmacist with MBA and experience managing a co-working clinic, Graziele, a physician who knows by heart the Brazilian healthcare system, and me, a space engineer with experience in software quality assurance. We're looking for connections and partners in the healthcare industry. Thank you. Opa, sorry.
Sasha, you're muted.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Eduardo. And well done. And last but not least, Jakob from Mavuno. Give him a warm round of applause as well.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, and we can also see your presentation.
Lovely. All right. So hi again, I'm Jacob from Mavuno. We are developing a mobile app for farmers in developing countries to help them improve their harvest yields with the use of satellite data and machine learning models. The average harvest yield of farmers in developing countries is around 70% lower than in industrialized countries. And meanwhile, the population of these countries is growing faster than anywhere else, which is a really serious issue because most of these countries are already at a stage where they need to import massive amounts of agricultural products in order to feed their growing population. So what is the reason for this huge gap? The majority of people living in developing countries are smallholder farmers who lack pesticides, fertilizers, and farming implements needed to optimize farming practices. But also these farmers lack crucial information and knowledge about their crops' health, which they need in order to make important decisions to decrease crop losses and increase crop production. And our app displays this information on a mapping interface, which shows the farmer where and when and how to apply pesticides and fertilizers, or how to irrigate. And this will not only maximize crop production, but also makes farming practices more sustainable because it prevents farmers from overusing pesticides and fertilizers. And we extract the information with machine learning models from the public Sentinel-2 satellite data, which is especially designed for vegetation monitoring with its 3 carbon red edge bands. And our machine learning models are trained with both the ground data, which we are currently collecting, and historical matchups from the satellite data. We have already developed an AWS-based services ecosystem, including an API which leverages GDAL for cropping, upsampling, atmospheric correction, and applying machine learning models to the Sentinel-2 data. And as a place to start, we chose Tanzania because we already have a long-term presence there with our team member Lucas and this local team of agricultural experts who are currently collecting this ground data and also build our early adopter community. So we decided to launch our MVP in January for Tanzanian cashew farmers. And by the way, in 2 weeks, we'll already start with the alpha testing. Our first feature will be monitoring diseased cashew trees because cashew nuts are by far the biggest agricultural export product of Tanzania. Meanwhile, diseases cause crop losses of around 66%. And our models can track these diseases and recommend the farmers when and where and how to apply pesticides to fight them. In a later stage, we'll then extend to further crop types and also further developing countries. The majority of people living, there are around 500,000 cashew farmers in Tanzania, and who are primarily smallholder farmers with around 1 hectare land, like our early adopter James, for instance. And James and most other cashew farmers don't know how to efficiently use pesticides to fight these diseases, and also are short in funds to buy them. With information provided by our app, these farmers can halve the amounts of pesticides needed and therefore almost double their income from 1,100 to 2,100 US dollars per hectare. And in order to validate our assumptions, we want to conduct a large study in collaboration with a local agricultural organization of around 80,000 cashew farmers. There are more and more similar solutions on the market, but they mainly target farmers in the industrialized countries and also mostly have a very poor user experience. So we aim for an intuitive front-end design, which can be understood by any farmer around the world, especially farmers in developing countries. And who are we? I'm Jacob. I bring strong experience in remote sensing and data science from working for the Institute of Space Sciences in Berlin and an agricultural technology startup where I already developed a satellite data-based application. And with Stefano responsible for the cloud architecture and front-end development, Johannes for the user experience strategies, and Lukas for the local operations, we bring the relevant expertise to make this venture a success. In order to grow our startup into a sustainable business, we need you to get on board now. So please get in touch with us. We'd love to enter talks with you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jacob. Woo! All right, so before I head over to Ferdinand, I just want to also say special thanks to Ferdinand. So because Ferdinand is actually the one who, who is full-time in it, and to his true passion, puts together this like Berlin chapter and spends so much effort, to make this all happen. So everyone, please give Ferdinand a warm round of applause. Thank you, Ferdinand.
Thanks a lot for that. It helps a lot to get some feedback from you all and from the founders. It's always greatly appreciated. As Sasha said, it is actually a passion. I've been a long time in consulting industry, which was interesting and great people there as well. But at some point, I had the feeling I have to do something with more impact and more broadly tailoring to the world's needs and the world's problems. So this is actually, as Kai said before, this is one of the programs which help at the point where it's needed most, because there's so many things that you have to do in the beginning when you start out a startup or a company that you have never done before if you've been in a different situation before. And that's where we come in. So I'm going to go back to sharing my presentation and roll into the actual graduation ceremony part, which is the last formal part of the evening. And we'll then see what we have in store for you. So what does it mean to graduate? It actually means a lot of work. So you've seen that before. So it's like three components. It's a foundation, a business building, and a growth part. Each of those has several sessions and has a review at the end. So kind of a stage gate at the end where a lot of mentors are rating the topics. The work can also be seen like that. So there's more than 120 hours in the first part, more than 90 hours in the second part, and 90 hours in the end. So that totaling over 300 hours of work by the founders, and lots of sessions as you see above. So there's the core sessions that you've seen before, there's climate track sessions, and we have customer discovery and product discovery sessions. And there's assignments all along. So that's what I just said. More than 300 hours of sessions. There's sessions and assignments, countless hours of pitch practice, team sessions, and special assignments. What does it require to graduate? As you've seen from the pitches, a lot of pitch practice is required. So people have to be able to show that to the audience, to the investors, and so on. But it's also a completely well-defined company in the respect of the problem, solution, and so on. So the completed assignments, the plans, the strategy have to be confirmed by the mentors, The corporation has to be formed, so the company has to be actually created if it was not existing before. The founders have collected a formal advisory board of top mentors. They typically make quite a lot of product progress, have the first leads, as you have seen in several of the presentations, have progress on building the team, and clear and actionable steps for growth. And the best of it, now you actually have made it. So you made it through this challenging program, which is quite a success, quite something. So in total, there's around 950 people who have seen us in our last recruiting phase, so had some interest, some initial interest. There was almost 400 applications, 55 enrolled, and we came down to selecting 8 that actually graduated. But that's not the end. What's next? So from here, obviously, there's no unicorns at this point. Sadly, I would love to have them, but that's not how the world goes. There's a lot of things to do next. First thing, make sure that you either already have your advisors and meet with them monthly, or go out and complete your board of advisors to make sure you have the right set of support in your background. If you have not done so, some of you have, some of you haven't, do launch, do actually bring out things to your customers and test what works and what doesn't, and pivot where it doesn't work. As soon as possible, quit everything else and focus, because focus is one of the core things to actually make things happen and make things work. But there is continued support. So we are there, as said before. We are part of your businesses, small part, but we are part of your businesses. And there is basically a lifetime of support. So this is roughly where you are now. As the end result is a product or MVP defined, full-time team, the go-to-market defined, and initial traction. And then going on, there's outside programs, obviously, but there's also one core and several other additional programs from Founder Institute, which is called the core program is a Founder Lab, which you typically apply for and get in for free as soon as you feel and they feel you are ready to actually fundraise. So for some, that's very close to now. Some others might have to do find some initial traction and build out the product. What does that mean? It's actually also a 3-month program, but it has always been fully virtual, hosted in Silicon Valley. And it's basically designed to just focus on fundraising. So pushing you through the similar process, but only focused on fundraising, building up the deal room, your material, forcing you to actually go out and get those investors on board. So yeah, you would think that your to-do list is empty. If you think so, that's maybe not the case. So it is not empty. It starts here. I know that you have already elected a president to basically do what you learned in the batch, to work together, to support each other, to give feedback to each other, to keep that on after the batch. Because that is one of our core learnings from all the founders that we had so far, that this support that is created within the groups, the working groups in the batches, is one of the best resources that the founders actually have, that the graduates actually have. So now we're not there to push you to do that, to build the working groups and to make the working groups work anymore. So you're on your own to actually keep it on. But as said before, we are there. So keep us updated. do it put it in the profile. Send us your monthly reports, best from the working group meetings, and make sure that we know when things happen, because the more we see that things happen, the more we can make new intros, make investor connections, and so on. As you've seen in this batch, we do have some FI groupies who really love us and come back and listen to more of the program, or come back to listen on certain topics. So you're always invited to join back if you need some additional input or want to connect to future founders. In the end, this is actually quite a success. As said before, only a very small part of those who think they can build a company actually pull through with it. But those who do, the chances that you actually go on with the company and grow it are a lot higher than the general chances if you just do it on your own. So with that, we basically come to the official part, handing you out the certificates, which is, we will start with our famous ladies from eCoding. So Christina and Patricia as well. Here's your Founder Institute graduation, and I really much hope that we will see lots of ships out in the oceans which are coded more secure, more durable, and better in the future by your coding. There's a lot in the chat. Yeah, okay. I am hearable, obviously. That's not to me. So yeah, thanks a lot to Patricia and Christina, and good luck with eCoding and getting it live and getting it to grow. Then we'll move to Eduardo. So this is one of our founders. I mean, this year, as I said before, we're fully virtual. So meaning we are worldwide as well. We can be worldwide, and Eduardo, as far as I know, participates usually from Brazil, and also builds his business in Brazil, making the clinic environment more sound and more transparent and more safe for doctors and patients. So good luck with getting that off the ground, Eduardo. Keeping worldwide, we move to Cyprus with Petros. Petros supporting the building industry and actually the rental industry for real estate, which is in its basically initial shoes in Cyprus still. There's obviously, it's a bit more mature in Germany or France, but there's a lot to do and a lot to fix in Cyprus, and we look forward to Petros with Tenant actually doing that. Then we'll move to Francois, who is joining us from Belgium, and who intends to actually revolutionize the whole world of taste, making it safer, clearer, and more digital, actually, to make sure that taste is stored and communicated easily with the help of Genometrics. Good luck with getting that off the ground, and as said before, stay focused and build a great Genometrics. We continue with Jakob Röhrenbach with his brothers and building Mavuno. From those that I mentioned, I mean, basically all of those that we have in the batch this time are very much on impact, and this one especially helping farmers in Africa. So initially in Tanzania, the cashew farmers, and then in the whole of Africa, get a lot more crops out of the daily work they do. So we go on to Jan and Christoph. So Jan and Christoph wanting to, again, we're very much on the impact side, but in a very different corner in the logistics world, making sure that those empty spaces in cargos, trains, ships, and so on are used better by finding those spaces and reselling them in a sustainable way. And good luck on getting that off the ground, Jan and Christoph. Then we move to Sherry and Susie with Digital Marketing Connect, which is helping people in the very beginning of their marketing careers to find something to some extent similar to what we do for entrepreneurs, for marketing people, basically giving people knowledge, marketing knowledge, and allowing them to share that and exchange it in safe space amongst other marketing professionals and juniors. So last but not least, Moataz with Airbox Energy, which is a very important solution to bridge the gap between the traditional energy and lower the need for traditional conservative energy and the solar and the normal wind energy. So we're looking very much forward to seeing the POC, and good luck to develop that. Thanks a lot for that. So that was all our graduates, and we have some graduates from the past to actually share some words with you. So let's see whether I can just switch to that other presentation. So not a presentation, but a video. We're going.
You watch my screen now, right?
Yes, we see your screen.
Yeah, so.
Congrats. The founders of this FI Berlin program. I guess it's been another hard, very proud to have made it here. Yeah.
Congratulations! Be proud of you. That's great.
Yeah, congratulations achievements.
Congratulations. And this is just the first phase. There will be more to come, definitely on the journey. So keep on going, keep on pushing.
Congratulations, superb. We are here to support you. Call us if you need any help. Founder Institute is always here with you.
Hey, congratulations! Woo! Congratulations, founders. You did it. You went through this program and you're ready to go and win the world. You feel crazy. You feel totally for it. Please never ever lose this feeling. You are here to change the world. So go and change it. Congratulations.
My name is Gregor, and this is Michael, my co-founder. And I graduated with Paket Concierge in the spring of 2020 and met him through Founder Institute.
Yeah, so and I'm a graduate as well. So I graduated a batch in March 2017 already with a different startup, but dealing in the same area of last mile delivery.
My name is Maura Wijaya. I was at the FI Berlin Spring 2020. congratulations again for your achievements that you have been through all this program. This is a lot of hard work, but it's worth it for your ideas, your business, and your future in whatever you do to make an impact and make a legacy with whatever you do.
My name is Mia, and I graduated from Founder Institute in 2019.
I'm Michael Aisawi. I'm 49 years old, and I graduated from the Founder Institute in February 2017 in the Berlin chapter.
Hi, I'm Janine, and I graduated in spring 2020. I founded Copley.
I really thought after graduation I wouldn't have no more access to Founder Institute, but I was proven wrong. Even until now, I still receive emails about the opportunities for funding, about the connections to other companies that are related to mine. So it is definitely a lifelong connection, a lifelong networking. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity.
I think it's one of the best deals I ever closed in my life, really, because it was a so condensed time, and in 3 months learning everything about how to build a startup company, which is quite different from building old school, old economy companies. And secondly, because of the huge network and the directors of the Founder Institute, so only naming Sasha or Ferdinand, for instance, and Dirk, and people I know, we are still linked, and we've calls every 2 or 3 months, and we get into contact with other interesting people after that time. So it's a school itself. So the things we learned during that time is very important, and after the time as well, it's still working together, talking together, opening doors, making contacts. I think that's one of the most important things for a startup in order to be able to at least have a chance to succeed.
The Founder Institute helped me after graduation a lot with the network. Like, it is more easy to connect with people, and the mentors are very helpful. Even after graduation, they took the time to support us, answer questions, and after graduation, I even attended the FE funding lab, and this was also very helpful to getting ready for funding. And surprisingly, they helped me with the marketing, like doing a social media campaign, and advised me how to communicate the business better, and even for attending events, like telling us if there's something coming up which could be interesting. And that's really great.
This is how I felt when I graduated. I just couldn't believe it. It was really hard. The journey was really tough, and then it was finally done. You just wanna get it all out. You just wanna hug everyone, hug the directors, hug your mentors. So that was an amazing feeling.
Congrats!
Congratulations!
Yeah, congratulations!
Congratulations!
Congratulations! Superb!
Congratulations! Woo!
So, yeah. Thank you, Rike, for preparing that. And thank you to Mia, Michael, Gregor, Maura, Janine, and Michael and Olga to send those messages. I mean, this is not a global video that we got from somewhere, but this is our graduates, and this is you now. So once again, congratulations to you all, and good luck for your future successes. So we are basically at the end of the formal part of this graduation. And as said before, I would love to do this again in real life, which, as Sasha said, this is the first time where we cannot then move into a beer bar mode. But we have something which is at least possibly a little bit close to that ready for you. in a second. So I'll share my screen, and to those out there who are still thinking of building something, this is not the end of the FI Berlin. So we are actually having a next batch already planned. There's another mistake here. So it's 2021 already. Who believes? I hope 2021 will have different kind of challenges, but maybe a little bit more light in store for us. Our next batch starts on the 3rd of March. And for those who are planning to join, reach out via the website or reach out to us. And if you need to know some more insight on how it works.